This is how to crochet a granny square. As you can see, I already have the slip knot on my hook. I'm using an F-size crochet hook and merino wool yarn, just one strand. The first thing that I'm going to do after I have my slip knot on my hook is to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've crocheted my chain, and the next thing that I'm going to do is to slip stitch back into the first chain stitch, and that forms a ring. There you can see I've formed a ring with my chain. Now to begin the next row, we're going to chain 3. This chain serves as the first double crochet stitch in the next row. After I chain 3, I'm going to double crochet around the ring that I created. That is 1 double crochet. That's 2 double crochets. So if I count my first chain stitch, I have 3. After you have a set of 3 double crochet stitches, you're going to chain 2. 1, 2, and then I'm going to double crochet 3 times again. 1, 2, 3. There you can see another set of 3 stitches. So I'm going to chain 2 again, make another set of 3 double crochets. That's my third set. So I'm going to chain 2 again. And this will be my fourth set of 3 double crochets. This is my last set in this round. 2 and 3. After I finish that third one, I'm going to attach it to that chain stitch that I created to make the first stitch of this row. Before I slip stitch back to that, I'm going to chain 2, then I'm going to slip stitch into that top chain stitch that I began my row with. That's the slip stitch. That forms a ring, and you can see that this has open spaces in the corners. You see that? So there are 4 sets, 1, 2, 3, 4 of 3 double crochets, and between each set is where you chain 2, and that is going to form the corners of our granny squares. So now that we've finished that round, our goal is to get to the next open space. So we're just going to slip stitch in the top to get over there to where we need to get started. A slip stitch isn't visible. It's just mostly for getting where you need to go or making edging along the finished crochet project. So I've slip stitched to my next open space, and now that I'm there, I'm going to chain 3 to get to my, or to start my next round. So there's a chain of 3. Now I'm going to double crochet 2 times. 1, 2. If you count my beginning chain stitch, I've got 3 stitches there. Now I'm going to chain twice, 1, 2, and I'm going to double crochet 3 times in that same hole. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I have 3 double crochet stitches, chain 2, which formed a corner, 3 more double crochet stitches. So now I need to get to my next corner or open space to work from. So I'm going to chain 2 to get over there, and I'm going to double crochet 3 times. Okay, so I've double crocheted 3 times in my next space. What do you think that we're going to do before we make our next set of 3 double crochets? Yep, that's right, chain 2, 2 chains, 3 more double crochets. Okay, so now we have another corner done, 3 double crochets, 2 chain stitches, 3 more double crochets, chain 2 to get to the next open space, 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 3 more double crochets, sometimes I forget how many I have. I just have to stop and count them. 2, so I need 1 more. That's 3. Okay, another corner. We're going to go ahead and chain twice again. 1, 2, and this is our last corner. 3 double crochets, 2, 3, chain 2 to form a corner, 3 more double crochets, okay, I've got 3, a chain of 2 and 2 double crochets. I need 1 more. Okay, so that's our last corner, and I just need to chain 2 now to get back to the beginning of my row. Chain 2, slip stitch into that top stitch to join our round, and there you have it. This is the point that if I were going to change colors on my granny square, I would go ahead and change the colors now. So you can see that before we begin our round, I need to get to my next open space again. I'm going to do exactly the same thing that I did before. Slip stitch to get to that next open space. Change the color if you're going to do that. Then chain 3 to start the next round. I'm not going to change the color today. I'm just going to keep going with the same color, but you can if you like multicolored granny squares. Okay, so it's basically a continuation in this step of exactly what we've been doing all along. In each open space you have 3 sets of double crochets, a chain 2, and then 3 more sets of double crochets. That forms a corner. So I've got 3, chain 2, 3 more, 1, 2, oops, and that's 3. Now I have to get to my next open space. To do that I chain 2. Okay, now in this space, since we're not actually trying to form a corner, all we're going to do here in this middle open space of the granny square is to double crochet 3 times. So that's 2, 3. Okay, so we have 3 double crochets in that open space. Now we're back to the corner again. Chain 2 to get there, 3 double crochets, that's 3. Now I'm going to chain 2, 3 double crochets in the same space again to form the corner. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we have our corner, and we want to get to our next open space. So we chain 2, double crochet 3 times in that open space. And then we would chain 2 to get to our next open space. And that's the basic steps of a granny square. Each time that you need to get to your next open space, you chain 2. In the corner you double crochet 3 times, chain 2, double crochet 3 times again. In each of these open spaces along the side you simply double crochet 3 times and then chain 2 to move on to your next space.